Good morning. It's time to start the Evernote challenge. Are you ready? I don't hear you. Where's it? Come on, let's go paperless cheer. Woo! Really? All right. So, this week is actually the easy week because it's the first week. The things you need to do are pretty basic. You need to download the first part series. If you haven't done so, you could have gotten the link directly after the submission page from your registration. Otherwise, post a comment below. I'll make sure you get it. After you do that, you're going to open up the primer, and in there it'll take you to the direct links for the downloads. You're going to need to install Evernote on all your devices that you use regularly. So that would be your computer, whether it's a desktop or laptop, Mac or PC, your smartphone, because we never leave home without that, do we? We always take these little things everywhere we go. Also your iPad or tablet. And here's the thing about Evernote, because it's cross-platform and it was built and designed that way, everything that's in there is pretty much the same. It doesn't look drastically different amongst all of those different platforms. You know, like sometimes you have an application like, I don't know, Basecamp, that is so drastically different or pretty much non-functional on a mobile device. Evernote is totally not like that. It was designed to run on these little buggers as well as your laptop, as well as your tablet. So there are a couple of little nuances, but nothing is drastically different. For you iOS users, you will almost always get an update sooner than the Android folks. Makes me sad, little bean. Anyway, the iOS folks have a couple extra little bonus features that Android users don't have and that you won't see on the desktop versions. That's okay. I don't hold it against you much. So, the other things you're going to need to know as we progress throughout this process are the email account that you use to log in with. That's actually a no-brainer. But you're also going to want to know what your Evernote email address is. And this is different than the one that you log in with. When you sign up with Evernote, you're going to be randomly generated an email. We're going to need that email later down the road. So to find that out, once you download the application, you're going to go up to Tools, Account Info, and it'll show you what your username, your full name, your account level, and your email notes to. And that's what you're going to want to save. Just save it somewhere. Save it as an Evernote note. Okay, when you are signing up with Evernote, you are going to, you know what, let's err on the side of caution. Sign up for a free account. Then you know what the capabilities are. You can always upgrade later. I'd rather have you do something for free right now than to invest money in a tool that you may or may not have, you know, a life with. One thing about the ebook that you've downloaded, all of the direct links will open up in a browser, and it will auto-detect what you're using, whether it's a PC or a Mac, whether you're using Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE, whatever. It'll figure that all out on its own. So when you download it, it'll be downloading for that specific version. Since we wrote this ebook, a month ago, Evernote has changed their pricing and their plans a little bit. They've actually added a third tier. So if you look at the primer, there is the free, the premium, and the business. In between free and premium, there is now the plus account. It's $24.99 a year, and it has a few more capabilities than the free, but not as many as the premium, and all of the data limits and number of notes and all those kind of things have changed a little bit. So the first thing I want you to do this week is just to start playing around in there. Make some notebooks, make some notebook stacks, make some tags, make a tag list. If you're too lazy to make a tag list, that's okay. I'm going to post a link below for you to join a notebook, and it's going to have one note in it. It's called the Ultimate Tag List, and the way that it's set up and nested is that all you have to do is import that one note, and it'll populate all those tags for you. Make life a little handier. Now here's the thing with tags. You have to use them. Don't have 500 notebooks. maybe just a few notebooks, but tag everything. And just remember, tags don't have to be, you don't have to use just one of them. So if you have a tag, say, for receipts 2015, that can be under both personal notes and business notes. It doesn't have to be in the same place. Learn how to bold. If you don't know how to bold, come here and let me smack you. How to italicize, how to make a table, how to put a horizontal line in, how to make your text a pretty color. I don't know. Play around and start making notes. Get used to some of the terminology. If you want to get super fancy, pinky out. Try some encrypted text. Keep in mind that Evernote does offer two-factor authentication, so if you're putting it on a mobile device, I do strongly recommend that, even though it's a pain. For example, for encrypted text, I actually have all my travel accounts listed as a note in Evernote, and I have the account numbers encrypted. It's a simple control keyboard function to unencrypt them or double click on it with your mouse. But I keep it there. That way, if I, leave my phone in the bathroom at the airport, not that I've done that before. I did leave it in a train station, though. Anyway, so in case that happens, you know, some of your sensitive information really isn't out there. In the primer, there is actually a huge list, or a link to a huge list of all of the keyboard shortcuts for both PC and Mac. I only listed like probably the top 10, but there are links to each of those, and they are different between Mac and PC. Normally, with most applications, if you do Control N for a new note, you would think that Command N would be the same for a new note. And that does work on some of the basic levels, but as you progress through the shortcuts, you will see that some of them are very different. So don't assume that just because what you're doing on a PC will translate over to a Mac. There is a shortcut for it, but it may be different key commands. Then next week, we start to have some fun. I'll see you next week.